To a 12 News original this morning. We shared this story with you last week, but got the opportunity to actually sit down with a Jefferson County woman who is credited with saving a young man from being burned alive. When first responders found out about this, they commended her for her heroic actions.
Yeah, such an amazing story here. Michelle Hansen of Finette is a stay-at-home mom, and what she thought was actually a normal trip to the grocery store quickly turned into a scene straight out of an action film. Cristiana Ramos is here this morning. I mean, you sat down with Michelle this weekend. She told you about, she just kind of followed her heart.
Yeah, the most touching part of this story is Michelle says she feels like she didn't do anything extravagant. She was just doing what she hopes every person would do in a situation like this one.
It was a scene right out of an action film. What was an ordinary day of running errands quickly turned into a mission to save a young man's life.
And it's like, there's a lot of smoke coming out from the back of that car. And you could see that it had caught fire. Like there was a stream of fire underneath his car.
23-year-old Jonte Meads was traveling east on I-10 from Houston when his check engine light came on. That's when he took the exit and ended up on the frontage road of 365. This stop sign is where Michelle caught his attention.
I was honking, waving, I was screaming at him like there's a fire, I was waving like come on. And he kind of waved, and then it's like I rolled down my window, and finally I got enough of a commotion out that he finally jumped out of the car, and I was like, there's a fire. And then he looked back and he saw it, and then he ran towards my car, and it's like, get in.
Michelle drove Jonte across the street to safety in her car and called 911.
I got off the phone with 911. Quickly, it's like, hi, I'm Michelle. Sorry we're meeting like this, but you're safe, you're okay. I was definitely a little more jittery. I was like, I need to get some gum. Let me chew some gum. Do you want some gum? Let's try to distract ourselves.
The newly acquainted pair watched as the car became engulfed in flames. Michelle stayed with Jonte until first responders arrived and the fire was out.
Just looking at it like in awe of like that could have been you easily in that car, and luckily you're not, because that did go up very quickly.
A situation that could have had a tragic ending.
It's like you had angels around you that got you safely in a safe spot.
Angels like Michelle, who was at the right place at the right time.
I know seeing your car catch fire and lose and everything that he had in there, you know, lose that, but he had himself and he was okay.
Nick, Tracy, I did want to mention something a little bit lighthearted. So when I was talking to Michelle, her family was actually out on a fishing trip. So they had no idea what was going on until they got home from that morning's trip. So she literally, after the incident, literally after the incident, she still continued to go and run her errands. So she's truly the mom of the year.
Grocery store, save a man's life. It's
incredible.
Whatever.
You know, and especially nowadays, you would hope that somebody, if you were in trouble like that, that somebody would take their, risk their life as well, because you would want to do the same thing for them.
Right. You don't just stand by and video it like so many people do with their phones, right? Actually jump into action. Love it. Thanks so much, Christiana.